Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're tackling something you've probably seen everywhere. Celery juice.
Oh, yeah. It's huge online.
Huge. And the claims are just, wow. Curing skin issues, gut problems. I mean, everything. We've seen sources mention a, quote, divinely gifted charlatan. Even Novak Djokovic jumped on board.
Right. The endorsements definitely amplify it.
Exactly. So how much is real science and how much is just, hype?
That's the core question.
So our mission here, really guided by Professor Lin's deep look into this, is to kind of cut through all that noise. We want to see what the actual evidence says. Think of it as like a workout for your critical thinking muscles, moving past the stories to the science.
Absolutely. And Professor Lin started exactly where you'd expect the scientific literature. So back in 2022, the first step was a PubMed search, the big medical database,
Right.
and searching for celery juice. Well, it turned up basically one relevant human study. Just one.
One.
Yep. A case study. A 74-year-old man, hypertension. His blood pressure apparently went down after 6 months of drinking celery juice daily. Interesting, sure, but...
Just one guy. That's
Yeah.
pretty thin compared to the buzz.
Exactly. Not exactly a slam dunk.
Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting then. What did Professor Lin find more recently? Did the picture change at all?
It did evolve a bit. A 2024 narrative review gave a wider view. It zeroed in on some key active bits in celery. 3-N-butylphthalide, let's call it NBP, and apigenin.
Okay, NBP and apigenin, what do they do?
Well, simply put, they can act like diuretics, helping your body get rid of extra water, and also as vasodilators.
Vasodilators, meaning
Yeah.
they relax blood vessels.
Precisely. They relax the artery walls, help blood flow a bit easier. It's kind of similar to how some blood pressure meds, like calcium channel blockers, work.
Ah, interesting mechanism.
Yeah, and the review also mentioned, some potential for lowering cholesterol slightly, maybe reducing plaque in arteries, all pointing towards potentially helping with blood pressure.
Okay, so there is some science there. Some real physiological effects happening, potentially.
Potentially, yes, based on these compounds.
But then, why are the big medical institutions, the ones not selling anything, often so cautious? You hear things like, it's not a magic drink. What's their take?
That's a crucial point. Take Memorial Hermann Medical System. They're pretty direct. They say, look, it's not a magic drink. Claims about curing skin stuff or inflammation or gut issues, mostly unproven.
Unproven.
Largely unsubstantiated in humans. And here's a key thing they point out. A lot of the positive studies you might see cited, they're done on animals, mice, gerbils.
Ah, okay. Not people.
Exactly. Animal results don't always translate to humans. Plus, they also say eating the whole celery stalk is probably better anyway. You get all the fiber.
Right, the fiber aspect. Okay.
Yeah.
What about someone like the Cleveland Clinic? They weigh in on trends like this too, right?
They do. Their 2024 article basically calls it a trendy detox drink. Not necessarily bad for you, but
Not a miracle.
definitely isn't a miracle cure. And they're clear. It won't undo bad eating habits or fix everything.
Makes sense.
And even back in 2020, they had an article saying celery might help lower high blood pressure thanks to those phthalates we mentioned, like NBP.
Okay, so they acknowledge the potential blood pressure link too.
They do, but, and then this is big but, they stress that to maybe see benefits, you'd need something like 4 celery stalks daily. And crucially, as part of a bigger picture.
Not just the juice on its own.
No. Part of a whole healthy, low-sodium diet, lots of fruits, vegetables, whole grains. It's a potential helper, not the whole solution.
Got it. So, pulling it all together, Professor Lin's conclusion, after sifting through the science and the hype, what's the bottom line?
Well, Professor Lin's take is balanced. Celery juice, absolutely not the cure-all miracle you see online.
Ah.
That idea needs serious debunking.
Right, myth busted.
Definitely. But based on those compounds and mechanisms, it could contribute maybe to lowering blood pressure. How much? That's hard to say definitively.
So a potential small benefit for blood pressure, maybe, within a healthy lifestyle.
Exactly. But the bigger lesson here, beyond just celery, is about critical thinking. Professor Lin really highlights this. You see this pattern often. A kernel of science gets wrapped in massive hype. Maybe a celebrity sprinkle?
And suddenly it's a miracle cure.
Precisely. It's a classic example of needing to look past the flashy claims.
And that really is the takeaway we want you to leave with. Flex those critical thinking muscles. So knowing what we've unpacked today, think about other health hacks or trends you see. Could they use a similar deep dive? Separating the real evidence from the wishful thinking. Next time you see some amazing claim, ask yourself, Is this based on solid human studies?
Or just animal data? Or anecdotes?
Is it supposed to work all by itself or as part of changing your whole lifestyle? And maybe the biggest question, who actually benefits if I believe this?
Right. Ask those questions. Be skeptical. That's how you become your own best health detective.